Hey, so let's talk for a minute about not necessarily fudge. So there was a person who was in my life for a while who made the world's most god-awful fudge and bragged about how good it was. And when somebody does that, you wind up having to keep a straight face and smile and go, mm-hmm. But her fudge had no air in it. It was like deflated marshmallow sugar. And it was so overwhelmingly sweet that I need something to drink. Okay? This is my fudge. First of all, I roasted the nuts. Then I candied the nuts. Then I ground the nuts to nut butter, what didn't get eaten. Then I made fudge. It's light. It has a crumble to it. There's no grit to it. It's real fudge. It's old-time candy. Okay? It's not really sweet. I use semi-sweet chocolate, and that's got a nice mouthfeel. It's good. And that's not just my opinion. I sent half of it, I made a pan. I sent half of it to the husband, to the guys he works with, people he works with. And got the standard, thank your wife for sending it. Compliments back. But more specifically, there were no crumbs. I make fudge a couple of times a year. I would make it more often, but it's fattening. And, I don't really need help. Used to have a friend who, back in the days when we talked on the phone, I called up. We were going to go visit. She's like, I just made the best chocolate chip cookies. They turned out absolutely perfect. They're my absolute most favorite. I don't know if I can keep from eating them all before you get here. So I was all psyched up for some good chocolate chip cookies, because it'd been a couple of months. And we were broke back then, and hey, chocolate chip cookies. Got there, and she handed me a plate of burnt, crispy, dry. The chocolate had burnt cookies. The kind that you funk. And then she continued to praise them, that they were her absolute most favorite, and this is perfect, and she couldn't believe how well they turned out, and you just keep, I'll just dunk that in my coffee, thank you. We were driving home, and I told the husband, I was like, oh my god, did she really think those were good? He goes, no, she just wanted to cut you off at the pass before you could tell her what was wrong with them. Okay, I can be critical. Don't tell people they're good, though, if they're not good. If I make something and it doesn't turn out, I tell you it didn't turn out. But there are people out there who that's their definition of good. I know people who like a strong black cup of coffee. Looks like mud. That's a shitty cup of coffee. And if you like it, it's because you've been programmed to like it, not because you actually like it, or because you've never experienced a higher quality coffee. I used to do chocolate tastings. And I used to tell people before they took the class, if you do my chocolate tasting, you will not want to eat generic Hershey's, generic candy bars, for a year or two. This is going to make you dissatisfied with most of the chocolate in your life. And people took the class anyway. And afterwards, I had several people tell me, I went to eat my favorite candy bar and it's just really not that good, is it? I'm like, no, it's not. James Hoffmann is a video blogger that I follow. He does coffee. James Hoffmann, I think that's his name. Anyway, he does coffee. And he has a video, it's like 5 minutes long, about tasting coffee. And how, as a super taster, we taste things differently. and how you can get sucked into, I only do the best. I want the best experience. I want the best this. I want it better. This bag of coffee Michael got this last month. This one here that's still sitting here because I want to remember the company don't fall. Yeah, it's that messy here. This one right here is a good cup of coffee. Which means I'm getting acclimated to a good cup of coffee again. Which means that I'm going to have problems when I run out. Which I'm only halfway done. I gotta sneeze. Hi. People who brag about the shittiest things as being good either have low standards from that's all they've ever had, or they have low standards from that's all I can afford, so that's all I'm going to let myself want. Or they have low standards because they don't give a fuck. I can enjoy a good cup of diner coffee. I can enjoy a good cup of Squadron coffee. But I have to be in that mindset. And when I see somebody else, okay, it's like Hawaiian food. I love Hawaiian food, okay? You throw some rice down, you throw some fried Spam on that plate, you put some gravy on that rice, and you throw an egg on it, and it's really good food. For something they wouldn't serve in prison. But it's good if you get into the mode. Poke is delicious if you're in the mood for it and if you're prepared for it. But let's be honest, it's raw tuna fish and soy sauce. That's all it is. It's poor people food. It's peasant food. The same way German food, sauerkraut, that's peasant food. Who was the first person to eat sauerkraut? Yeah, my theory is they were trying to make alcohol. Anyway. Watch your standards, don't put them too high. Watch your standards, don't let them slouch too low. You can develop a taste for anything. Anna East Nims, in one of her stories, relates an experience with her cousin who she'd had a love affair with for years. And he slowly but surely turned gay. And he tells her at one point, be cautious about indulging. No, it's be cautious about allowing your indulgences to become your norm, your normal. Because you will develop a taste for them to the exclusion of normal. If all you eat is fudge, you won't be able to eat green beans. And that's an aristocratic diet issue that a lot of Americans are having, a lot of Westerners are having, as we have so much indulgence food that we lose the taste for real food, for health food. That's my thought. I don't think it was coherent, but you know, hey. Now I have problems swallowing. So something like fudge that there's nothing to swallow against. Yeah, there's this swelling in my throat issue. Still there. That'll take a month or two to go away. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.